the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
But guess what? We got a lot to do. You gotta say hi to me. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
At White House Senior Living, our residents feel right at home. Our vibrant facility offers delightful activities and outings, round-the-clock professional care, and exquisite house-made meals.
Well, I've been eating everything that's put in front of me. I've been eating all Italian foods, basically.
And ice cream.
And ice cream, chocolate chip ice cream.
White House Senior Living, where residents feel like presidents.
I'm dying to see what America's going to do to this. I'll use my favorite word again, clusterfuck, 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 clusterfuck.
It's a trap.
It actually is a trap.
It's a trap.
Science is back. And I choose science over fiction. And so if the science is demonstrating it's doing great damage, then I don't care what it does to a small business person who's selling this stuff. If it is damaging lungs, if it's causing the kind of damage that is said, and that study's not been fully done yet, if it turns out that it is, then I would eliminate it. I would make it, I would go after it in a hard way. I would make it broader, not just for he is.
If we get asked a specific question by a teen, either a direct message to us or via social media about the relative harms of vaping versus cigarettes, we try to be as clear as possible that if your comparator is a cigarette, vaping is less harmful.
In England, the Royal College of Physicians has apparently done a great deal of research on e-cigarettes, and they have actually found that compared to smoking cigarettes, the rate of damage from e-cigarettes is 5% of what it is from smoking traditional cigarettes. You're reducing the damage by 95%. Hey, I don't think vaping or e-cigarettes are good for you. But if you have to choose between smoking and vaping, I happen to feel that vaping is safer. I don't think vaping is good for you, but it's better than smoking.
We're going to choose science over fiction.
And FDA has not used that terminology to use the most recent estimates of youth use. I will say that I'm an epidemiologist by training, so I'm fully cognizant of the definition of an epidemic, which is unprecedented increases over what you'd expect at baseline. That said, I think and know that the science has shown a decline in the number of youth users, and that's a good thing.
The FDA today calling it a dangerous epidemic.
The FDA calls teen vaping an epidemic.
Epidemic? I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated.
Vaping is not as harmful as smoking. Kids are kids, and there's many, many, many reasons why they choose to do different types of things.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
Oh, what is that? Oh shit, I better get that off the screen. Oh no. Hello, and welcome to the show, people. How are you? What's going on? I see some people are still sneaking in. Mallory's here, Peggy's here, James is here, Addie's here. Toasty just showed up. I don't know who's over. There's several people watching over in the Rumbles already. They're ready for the shit we're going to cover tonight in Rumbles is going to piss you off. But sadly, we can't talk about that over here. So this is for now. But yeah. Anyway, Michael Redfern just showed up. Hello, people. Y'all. Oh, Omicidal just showed up too. So anyway, I hope you had a good week, and welcome to the show. Welcome to us, two chuckleheads, trying to argue with the government, trying to show you people, trying to show everyone what the hell is going on behind their backs. We talk about some harm reduction stuff. We talk about government regulation and all sorts of other stuff, but we'll get to that. But Kevin is in the back room. I do want to say, you shenanigans, you guys with the wrenches, don't be doing any more shenanigans tonight. If you're using a touchscreen computer, keep your fingers off the screen. Anyway, let me get Kevin in here. Kevin's chomping at the bit.
Did you figure that out last week? That thing?
I did figure it out. There was a mistake. Somebody accidentally did something and then took a minute to undo it. They had to recruit Addy. Addy had to reach out to me later. He's like, dude, I just wanted you to know.
That's all right.
What happened. It wasn't Addy that fucked it up, though. I'm not going to name names. And
it could have been me. Fuck, for all I know.
It wasn't. Dude, I was freaking out because when I
can tell. Okay.
Right. When I got the message, I was like, what the hell's going on here? So I go in the back room on the YouTubes to see what the hell had happened. And I looked. There is a list of people that are blocked, and it wasn't the person. It wasn't they were not on the list. And I'm like, what the hell? And then I watched the live show and the chat replay.
Yeah.
And all of their comments were removed. So I couldn't even figure out when it happened. Because when you block somebody or whatever happened, it removed. So people were talking about the person that had been blocked, but I couldn't see who was. And then I looked through all of the activity. I couldn't find it. And then eventually, after like 3 hours of scouring the backstage of YouTube, my friend Addy messaged me on Twitter and he's like, hey, somebody reached out to me to explain a situation and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, oh, well, thank God it was only temporary and things, I don't, the only people that get blocked on this show are the really aggressive dumbasses. And obviously the porn bot. Porn bot always gets blocked, but
Well, yeah.
But yeah, let's as long as it's some just annoying person, let them be an annoying person.
Well, I'm here still, so there you go.
I mean, I'm pretty annoying. Look at my hat. Isn't this pretty annoying?
Well, skull cap.
No, this is my pub hat. This is my Irish heritage. Red, white, and blue patriotic. Because, dude, when we get to the Rumbles, and I read you some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about, your faith in our government and our is just now.
Did you see Janine?
I did see that Janine was on the GFNT interviews and Reg Watch.
Yeah.
Our friend Brett gets all the good good guests, but I did see a video for somebody that he's gonna have on that I'm just like, why? Somebody else had this person on. I'm not gonna name names, and I'm just like, why in the fuck are you wasting space with that person? But
Brett.
People that know who I'm talking about.
I know. I think I do. He was at the rally. Huh?
Why are you wasting space, time, and people's brain cells on that piece of shit? So, but anyway,
he was at the rally anyway. And I didn't know he was coming. He didn't announce it. I don't think. I didn't. If he did, I didn't see it anyway. I'm walking around carrying a couple things for him here and there because Secret Service was going to confiscate anything sitting still on its own. And he was interviewing a few people, and then eventually he interviewed me. And
no, I'm not talking about Brett. I love Brett. I'm not talking about Brett.
Yeah. I know. I think I do know who.
Or Brent. Sorry, Brent. Mr. Stafford. Yes, I enjoy his company. He's we've drank together. He's on the good list. I'm talking about somebody that he's interviewing. I saw a tweet. From that piece of somehow he responded to one of my tweets, and he was like, I wrote the amicus brief for the industry, And I was this far away from replying back. Who chose you to speak for the entire industry? Because I know people in this industry that you don't speak for. But I didn't. I was a good boy.
We'll see. There you go. It can happen.
Yeah. But anywho.
Anyway,
any attorney that says ethics are bad, that's the attorney that I don't hire. And there are screenshots of him saying that. Just saying.
Oh, Michelle.
Anyway, I'm looking at trying to find links. I'm trying to find my links list. I have my links.
Find what?
We do have a large group of tweets as well tonight, Kevin. Between you submitted several, I submitted several. You submitted one earlier in the week that from now on, anytime you submit a tweet to go on the list, it's just going in the list with all the other tweets. Just because.
Just because.
Because I did the same thing. I put a swim daily in there earlier that it's not included in the tweets of the week. But you know what? And we actually have a special presentation tonight. The Vape Cat herself submitted a tweet of the week. So when we do get to that area of the show, the Vape Cat Vape Cat's tweet of the week, there will be an actual tweet that was selected by Peggy,
which caused a once in a lifetime opportunity for Patrick and I to message each other at the exact same time.
This has never happened before. I'm on Twitter at the same time he's on Twitter. Both of us saw the tweet at the exact same moment. And I am cutting the address of the tweet into our message box at the same exact moment he is. And I hit the send button like a microsecond after he sent this, because it was like,
just because I'm smarter.
Bing, bing. Bing, bing. And I'm like, shit, that's the same tweet. So that is a special occasion when Kevin and I both this has never happened before.
No, it's never happened. No.
Never happened.
Plus, I was going to tell Peggy, but I didn't. Yeah, technically, it's his show, but we're going to show it anyway. It doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck what he thinks.
And I think that it's a worthwhile tweet to show.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Florida, though. That's all I'm going to say until we show the tweet.
Oh, my God.
I feel bad for Florida. That's all I'm saying. So what did you do this week? Did you do anything this week?
No, nothing. Not a goddamn thing.
Nada? You just kind of sat in the chair and did nothing all week?
Just looking dumb. And I did find Bonehead Truckers on YouTube to be amusing. Other than
Bonehead
Truckers.
Peggy is actually correct on this one. She says it takes two. He would be so boring. I have done this show by myself in the past. Now, back in old-timey days when it was just the audio only, and it was just me reading articles, expressing my opinion, I would play music. I'm going to take a 4-minute break. I'm going to go pee or whatever, and I would play a song. Well, little did I know that was, not really, you're not supposed to do that, Kevin.
By the way.
But I did that for years.
Looking ahead.
And I would have themed, I would select songs in advance that were themed to the show.
Well, yeah.
But now I can't do that anymore because you got to have you got to pay royalties and shit, so I can't do that.
So I'm giving you fair use notice, if you like. I will not be here the 2nd
of February. Oh, that's plenty of time. I will get Peggy to come in and be co-host for that night.
See?
Or I could get this guy that doesn't like you. Actually, no. He says he hates you.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, just,
That's pretty funny.
I loaded it into the thing so I could just throw it on the screen whenever I wanted to.
Anytime you like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it'll be like, he hates Kevin. Yeah,
keep it fresh.
Hey, Kevin, Charlie hates you. I'm just saying.
I know. He's not real fond of you either.
No. He says he loves me.
Well, he lies.
See, I'll show it again. Here,
it's that Chauncey bastard I like better.
He says, I actually do like you. Don't tell anyone.
Or not Chauncey. What's the other guy's name?
And I said, well, damn, I still like Clovis better.
Clovis.
Don't tell Kevin. He'll squeal like a little girl if he finds out you don't hate him. No. I still hate Kevin.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But anyway, Kev, so, we were talking last week about how the Supreme Court has really kind of tried to stay the hell away from the whole vaping thing. They have rejected several cases that they didn't, they chose not to bring them. They don't want to hear them. They sent them back. They sent them back.
Well, yeah.
So here's proof. All right.
Piggy turned into an owl.
So it says here, this is from Reuters that is being re-reported by Yahoo. U.S. Supreme Court rejects challenge to California flavored tobacco ban. So, there's your stock footage of your, disposable e-cigarettes. But it says Reuters. The U.S. Supreme Court on Monday declined to hear R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company's challenge to a voter-approved measure in California that banned flavored tobacco products in the most populous U.S. state. The justices rejected an appeal by R.J. Reynolds, a unit of British American Tobacco, and other plaintiffs of a lower court's ruling holding that California's law did not conflict with the federal statute regulating tobacco products. California AG Rob Bonta, a Democrat, who defended the law in court in a post on X, formerly known as Twitter. You see how they're... This is like the artist formerly known as Prince. This is a post formerly known as Twitter, called the Supreme Court's decision excellent news. We look forward to continuing to fight to prevent addiction and to protect the health of our people, Bonta said. R.J. Reynolds declined to comment. Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom in 2020 signed into law a ban on all flavored tobacco products, including menthol cigarettes and cotton candy flavored vaping products, in response to concerns about a rise in e-cigarette and tobacco use by teenagers. And as a byproduct, though, Kevin, they did increase the sale of combustible cigarettes in their state.
Well, see, that worked out really well for them, didn't it? That helped Nancy's image and salary that they were talking about a minute ago.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're gonna talk about Nancy later, just over on the Rumble stream. The ban's implementation was delayed after a tobacco industry coalition gathered enough signatures to put to voters a ballot measure that would block California from becoming the largest state to ban flavored tobacco product sales. But nearly 2/3 of voters casting ballots on the measure, known as Proposition 31, approved the state's ban in November of 2022. The law made California the second state to ban all flavored tobacco product sales after Massachusetts in 2019. Several other states have restricted flavored vaping products, and several municipalities have adopted their own bans. The U.S. FDA in 2020 banned all flavors except tobacco, menthol, and Juul and other cartridge-based e-cigarettes. In 2022, the FDA fought to ban sales of all Juul e-cigarettes, though it later put the order on hold because a court told them they fucking had to, not because they chose to. Beyond vaping, the FDA in April of 2022 proposed banning menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars. These rules have yet to be finalized and have been the subject of lobbying by tobacco groups and minority groups that feel that a menthol ban on combustible cigarettes disproportionately affects people in the Black and brown community. that's not included here because they want to make it sound only the evil tobacco groups are.
That's right.
A day after California, after the California vote, R.J. Reynolds, along with a group representing tobacco retailers, the Neighborhood Market Association, and a vape shop, filed a lawsuit arguing the Federal Tobacco Control Act, which the FDA enforces, preempts state and federal law that bar flavored tobacco product sales. But a federal judge ruled these arguments were foreclosed by an earlier decision by the San Francisco-based 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, upholding a similar ban in Los Angeles County. The 9th Circuit upheld the judge's ruling in California's law in June after the U.S. Supreme Court earlier in 2023 declined to hear an appeal of the L.A. ruling. Reynolds had previously unsuccessfully asked the Supreme Court to prevent the California law from taking effect while it pursued its appeals, and the justices rejected that request in December of 2022. So yeah.
You're screwed.
They're talking about people getting paid in the chat room. I sure wish I got paid, Kevin. But that's neither here nor there, Kev. Neither here nor there.
Hey, you haven't complained about the placement of my microphone yet.
You sound fine. I mean, you're there's a little bit of room sound, but it's not big. It's not a big deal. It's not like the or you playing around in your change drawer like you did.
I don't have a drawer.
Whatever it is that you yeah. Speaking of stupid laws, Kevin. Speaking of stupid laws, there I'm gonna pre-rub this one. Let's get the fluffer in here. Fluff this one. All right.
Fluff.
What you fuckers?
So to the earlier statement, don't be spanking on Michelle or anybody else now. Whoever did that.
Spanking. Oh.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Slapping.
Whatever, Kev. I think you're on drugs.
Yeah.
I think you're on drugs. I'm waiting for a video to load here.
Nancy.
There's an ad. I have to wait for the ad.
There's always an ad.
There's an ad. I don't want to show the
when
ad.
He's watching his shows, he goes, "Oh, there's an ad."
Everybody's like, Patrick, get an ad blocker, but I don't know that ad blockers work on embedded videos on websites.
I don't either.
So we're just waiting for this Chick-fil-A ad to finish.
And kudos to all of you Twitterexers, because I saw some pretty good damn stuff this week. By the way, just see it.
You did?
Impressed. I did.
No.
I saw.
I did because that Joe Biden video that I played at the beginning of the show, I swiped that from somebody's Twitter.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm not sure where it was created. I'm not claiming responsibility for it, but somebody tweeted that they got it off of Trump's Truth. I don't know that. I think if Trump did it, it might look a little bit better than that. But just saying, he's got enough money to hire professional video, people. But here, you remember, Kevin, there's a law in Texas that if kids get caught vaping at school, they get sent on the diversionary program.
Yes.
Well, that diversionary program is also the diversionary program that they put the kids that are violent, caught with hard drugs, actual criminals here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna
politicians. No.
Well, yeah. We'll play this video here.
Of Houston area students have been sent to alternative schools this year by a new state law that is aimed at curbing.
Now, you didn't hear the first thousands of kids, is what she just said.
Vaping by minors.
This story, first of by the Houston Chronicle, and it says critics say the punishment doesn't fit the crime. SB 114 requires public schools to send students caught with vapes or e-cigarettes to discipline centers. Those are designated for students in serious trouble. For instance, the new law groups possession of an e-cigarette on school grounds under the same school code as felony offenses, terror threats, violent assaults, bringing a firearm to school. According to data compiled by the Chronicle, more than 1,300 students in the area's 5 largest districts have been disciplined this year.
So if a kid comes to school with an AK-47, that's as dangerous as an e-cig, Kevin.
No cigarettes, huh?
Well, I don't know.
I looked at one of the articles. I looked at 3 and I couldn't find cigarettes. I just found e-cigarettes, and I thought, well, there's a lot of sense in our lawmakers.
Yeah. Well, this is Texas, and I'm a Texan, so I can.
I think all these kids should just be made to go hang out with Ed for a week. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I mean,
I imagine
that might be against the Geneva, the convention. And we did talk about the Geneva Convention last week. So,
yes, we did.
It's kind of worrisome to me that, the same kids, for me, Kevin, I don't want to get too political here.
Yeah.
At this early venture of the show, but if a kid came to school, with a suicide vest and went la, 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 whatever they terrorist people say before they blow stuff up, and it was a dud. Say it was a dud, and they put that kid in the diversionary program. Some kid that's vaping his cotton candy vapor in the in the shitter, he's gonna go to the same place as that.
Well, because bank robbers and
from the river to the sea, those people.
Yeah.
So I'm a little concerned. Yeah, I mean, and Addie's right. There's no celebration at all that those kids aren't smoking anymore. But anyway, let's keep going.
A majority of those sent to alternative schools. The law does allow for out-of-school or in-school suspension if there is no capacity at a DAEP.
In 2023, according to the CDC, more than 2.
Now, and I wonder in Houston, I mean, Houston's very large. Houston, big place. There's millions of people that live there. How many slots do they have for all of their schools in the diversionary school, satellites or whatever?
Right.
Because if they're saying they've already done 1,300 kids for vaping, how many other kids are there for harassing, for physical assault on other, because it happens.
Well, nobody cares.
How many of those? I mean, how many slots in total are there? Because if it was me and they gave me a choice to go hang out with the terrorist kid, I may say yes, or I may say, just send me home. Yeah. I'll just do homeschooling. Screw this shit.
1 million students reported using e-cigarettes, which can be highly addictive and potentially harmful. But critics of the new Texas law include school administrators and parents who say the zero tolerance punishment is really just too severe and that students would be better served by intervention. Pearland State Representative Ed Thompson authored the bill and said it's intended to keep kids out of the criminal justice system. And
aren't a lot of these people that are anti-vaping, aren't they the same ones that are like decriminalize drugs? Let's shut down the prison industrial complex. Aren't those? Right. But they're putting them into a straight line system. You go to the diversionary school, odds are you're not going to learn from your mistakes. You're going to probably do.
Patrick, it's a kumbaya choir until they're not. They want to toe the line.
Yeah, but these are also the same people that scream defund the police, and in California, they're obviously the same ones that are now saying, let's give the police the authority to decide who's crazy and who's not, you know.
Which way it goes.
Yeah.
Meow.
That's a bracelet. That's a bracelet.
Well, I'm assuming he meant vape band.
Now that I just realized, now that I got my new easy tube from Innikin with the new minimal Zenith tank on top.
Oh, the 1 minute video. Do you like it?
I do like it because I also I like that it has the little screen on the bottom so that you can change your voltage just by turning it and stuff. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. And this is it's simple. I've been vaping this. I've been carrying this to work all week. This is like my banger, like go to work device that I've been using all week. And I know they're in stock at VapeCats. I can't say the whole thing. Not allowed to say the whole thing.
Sorry, Al. I didn't realize you meant the video. So, but they're saving us, Michelle. Now, there's the thing. Did any of these fucktards that are making these laws ask the people who were proposing the allegedly proposing the law? I saw Stephen Kelder's fucking name in there, by the way. If you don't know who he is, you can look him up. But did they say, hey, did you talk to these children? Or did they just arbitrarily go, fuck you, you're going over there. Get your hat, Zippy. Right, exactly. And it fits well, doesn't it?
It fits perfectly.
They don't care about these freaking kids.
What colors did you get?
I got blue.
Yeah, I didn't see the blue one. And then after
silver.
Yeah.
Silver.
Mm.
Thank you very much. And thank you for the note.
And we also know that the Z coils that go in them are also available in like 8 different varieties over there at that Vape Cats place with a Z at the end. Vape Cats with a Z. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you can slide top of tank.
Yeah, this is instead of having the slide tank, it actually you twist the top off. But I do like that it's smaller.
I did not open that yet. Those yet.
Yeah,
I still haven't done it. It's still.
I got this other little variation.
Yes, sir.
It's blue. This one's blue, and it also uses the Z coil. So I will be able to put it on my red, white, and blue Stabwood mod. It'll look pretty all right.
I like the slides.
Yeah, these are pretty awesome. I'm like I said, I've been vaping on it all week. So if you want something that's inexpensive, simple, and that you can carry it around and not worry, the Stabwood, that could disappear, that could break, that could drop, or whatever. You got a little, it's got a USB-C on the side. Not to commercialize Dimitri and Phil, who are our friends, who never hook us up or anything. Fuckers.
I really tell people that don't know any better. It's like an ego on steroids. They did exactly what I would want.
This is good for old people like Ed or you
and me. Yeah, it's simple. I don't have to screw with it. I just charge it and it keeps working. These things last me.
But I did reach out to both the morons, Dimitri and Phil. Just say hello.
Your words, not mine.
I don't bug them. They're doing their own thing. Once every 6 months, I'll say, "Hey, how's it going?" So I'm like, "Hey, Dimitri, are you still in Greece?" Because I'm not paying attention to where he's at. And he's like, "I've been over here for a year. I'm not coming back." Got your little thing. How's blah blah blah, just checking up on you, blah blah. And then he showed me what the next thing is that's coming out, and the next thing looks pretty good. I said, you should put me on the beta test list of that. And he's like, you and 100 other people. I'm like, oh. Yeah.
And personable.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. I don't carry a purse. But anyway, let's finish this video now that we've digressed.
And the Brazoria County Law reports a decline in youth vaping cases since the bill.
What about HISD? Well, nearly 370 students were sent to alternative schools for vaping through early December. And a district spokesperson told the Chronicle that the district opposes the measure. But here's the thing. Now that HISD is designated a district of innovation, it's exempt from the law and can handle vaping on a case-by-case basis.
A district of innovation, Kevin.
All I guess the F word, Patrick, for the whole story, the whole thing. F word. That's it. Well, I could also quietly and silently do this. Piss off,
But like you said, nobody. These people did not consider the ramifications of their proposed legislation. When they said, let's just slap these bitches, these little brats, with let's put them in the diversionary thing where they probably won't learn as much as they would learn with the in the regular classes. Let's just put them on a road to the wrong. Let's just lead them down the wrong path. Is what That's what they're doing.
I've seen it on occasion over the years. On occasion, it's not a lot.
And I'm not saying don't punish the little brats, but I'm just saying is that
I said you find the kid, the parent. It's 500 the first time, 1,000 the second, 1,500. Karen will get tired of paying the bills. So when they say that they put them in these tobacco education programs, that it doesn't help. They need to stop that.
We don't have gulags in the United States, bastard.
What's a gulag?
That's a Russian prison in Siberia.
Oh. Well, at least they're not like I think it was.
That's where like Alexander Solzhenitsyn,
I think it was Bastard or Addie that said that they're not tasing them or something anymore as much yet.
Well, we haven't seen any searches this year so far.
It's a new year,
There's at least that
so far.
Yeah, I'm not covering this story, Kevin. I am not, because I will get so fucking pissed. But there is a news story going around. 2 little boys were abducted at the Houston Mall, the Galleria Mall, and sexually abused by like 10 dudes.
I didn't see that.
And they only arrested one, the main one so far. That's all that this fucking place is going to hell in a handbasket, dude. It is just not even there. No. But anyway, here, let's we'll go to a different place that's going to hell in a handbasket. Let's watch this video from Australia.
An alarming number of young Victorians vaping has prompted health chiefs to launch a new campaign aimed at schools. As Alan Rascal explains, resources are now available online to help teachers and students talk about the growing problem.
It's the new schoolyard fight, the battle to make e-cigarettes or vapes vanish. Health authorities launching new written resources to help both teachers and students.
The purpose of these resources is really to be able to encourage them to have open and honest conversations in the classroom.
Shouldn't they have open and honest conversations at home with their parents?
Yes.
I don't understand.
Oh my God.
These teachers, they claim that they have a hard job, that they have so much to do. Why are they demanding this additional responsibility?
Because it's the psychotic nanny state that's in charge.
I mean, and again, I'm on a tear about some teachers, not all teachers, but I'm on a tear about fucking teachers.
No, because I think there are people that are genuinely concerned.
But
And so do
again,
you.
where do these people get off thinking it's their responsibility? It's the fucking parents' responsibility. The school board and the state or the country, or whatever. This is Australia. There's multiple states over there. There's Queensland. Anyway, these people should be sending the materials home.
Sure.
And saying, parents, go over this with your kids. Have a conversation with your kids. Apparently you're not doing that. So, sit down and chat with them and figure out where your fucking brats are. Again, teachers, this is not their job. This is not their responsibility. Why do they feel like it is that they should? If I was a teacher, I'd be like, you know what? This needs to go home to the parents.
Mm-hmm. Sign in return, a little form, and that's fine. That's up to the parent.
I don't understand. In one
Rachel
hand,
wants to be important, and she wants to be relevant or relevant or whatever the word is.
Like I said, they're always complaining. I don't get paid enough money. I have too much to do. Why are they demanding to have this additional responsibility? Is all I'm saying. The parents would do it for free because it's their job.
It's parenting. Yeah. It's an action verb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Edward.
And to be able to support teachers across a range of settings, to be able to embed these learning resources into the curriculum across the board.
Now, if I'm sending my kid to math class, algebra, geometry, calculus, or whatever, that's what I want the teacher to be teaching my kids.
That's what they're
if they're in history class, they need to be learning history. If they're in biology class, there may or may not be a point where that possibly would fit into the curriculum, but they should be learning, about the textbook. What the biology textbook says. They should be learning how to dissect frogs or whatever it is that they do in biology class now.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, they might just be watching videos now. They may not actually learn how to, Here's a video of a frog dissection.
That's right.
The next step in the existing Seeing Through the Haze campaign.
Many e-cigarettes contain poisonous chemicals, such as those in biofuel, paint thinner, and bug killer.
It's claimed.
So biofuel.
This is exactly what I saw at DARE. It's just renewed. It's the same fucking thing.
Paint thinner. Well, you can thin paint with just about anything. Water.
Including water, yeah.
Yeah. Is it too dark? We'll dilute it a little bit. Put a little water in there.
And more than 200 chemicals have been detected in e-liquids. It comes as the war on traditional cigarettes continues, with graphic warnings and plain packaging making the habit.
All right. I got to go back here for a second, Kevin.
That's been working out well, right?
Okay. So smoking can cause blindness.
No. Smoking causes.
Causes blindness.
See, it's all in the wording, Patrick.
Well, I only did it until I needed glasses, Kevin. Apparently,
but how do other people go? Oh, you went blind that way. But how do other people go blind if it's the smoking that causes? Smoking causes blindness tells me as a casual reader that Jesus, I shouldn't smoke, but I'll never go blind because I don't smoke. Well, that's not a true statement.
Yeah.
In itself, it's not true either. But anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
News with graphic warnings and plain packaging, making the habit less desirable.
This is one of the biggest health challenges.
Oh, there's that dumbass again.
Challenges of our time. We know that roughly 30% of teenagers have used an e-cigarette. The numbers have increased.
Get a haircut, you damn hippie.
Rapidly over just a very short period.
The new school sources are part of a raft of measures to curb the use.
This guy has a lisp.
Of e-cigarettes. A ban on the importation of single-use vapes came into force on January.
Look how he's sitting there, Kevin. I'm just looking at his body language.
1, and in March, people won't be able to buy them.
Now,
what?
Kev.
What?
Do you see a hairbrush on that table?
Yeah, it's what it looks like. It's a hairbrush. Yeah,
this looks like a hairbrush right here, and
it does.
And it maybe has a hollow handle here that you can put that e-liquid in. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I'll need that to feather my hair when it grows back out.
Yeah.
Outside of a pharmacy where a prescription is needed for them to help smokers get off cigarettes. Teachers and students can easily read or download the classroom information. Head to the website for more details.
Did you see that? How to know if my child is vaping?
You know, if I got to Google that, I'm really stretching my knowledge.
Well, I mean, and we already went over this list. Is your kid moody? Are they smelling overly? Do they have an overly strong smell of fruits and or perfume? You know, I'm like, have you ever been around a teenager? As soon as teenage boys, when they discover like cologne, they don't realize that you're not supposed to use the whole bottle at the same time.
Well, yeah, you got to put in your shoes and shit. Yeah, slosh around. Yeah.
Because they don't want to use soap and water to actually, No. Oh God, Dracar Noir. Oh, that is so late 80s. Oh, Kevin. Speaking of late 80s, later in the Rumbles, we're going to talk about turbo cancers, which is very like late 80s, early 90s. Turbo,
just
like turbo everything, but turbo.
I want everybody to realize as we go through this bullshit that we're going through with this video, how much the resources they've expended, or whatever your word is, to put this to task. Take the time to make a fucking book, call the fucking news companies, to ignore the other things. Well, I was joking, Pig, but yeah, I'm assuming because some of the guys.
I mean, have you ever smelled a teenage boy's shoes? They all got foot funk. I mean, I'm just saying,
they got to hide all that shit. So think of all the time and resources taken away from real fucking things that are going on in the world.
Oh yeah, I mean, kids with serious mental problems. I mean, we have a huge, gigantic, monstrous generation of kids that are all a huge majority of them are suffering from some sort of mental illness that we created. Like this, we've never had these huge amounts of mentally ill kids before, and I'm sure there were some that existed prior to this that were, but I mean, not in this. I mean, how many kids are on like Ritalin and ADHD meds, and I mean, the water supply could not have been tainted, over the entire country in such a rapid amount of time. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. There's just a little bit.
For more details, Alan Rascal, 9 News.
Well, thanks, Zippy.
Alan Rascal, 9 News.
Thanks, Zippy. That was full coverage.
But it is disconcerting to me, Kevin, that these teachers that are unqualified, not qualified, to be doing half the shit that they want to be able to do.
Meanwhile, your 10-year-old's getting pregnant. We know. So,
oh dear. Kevin, kick your ass.
Kitty keeps coming off the guard there.
All right, here.
Yeah,
Kevin, this one won't piss you off. It might.
I'm skeptical about that, but all right.
All right. I'm gonna share this. Share the screen here. Let's share the screen. Share. This says E-cigarettes help more people quit smoking than patches or gum, study reveals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it says this is from and this is on the website Study Finds Research, in a nutshell. So apparently they're going to try to explain this for idiots like us. Amherst, New Jersey, Massachusetts. While e-cigarettes come along with their own unique set of potential health concerns, noteworthy new research finds that these devices may actually offer cigarette smokers their best chance of kicking the habit once and for all. The latest Cochrane review, co-led by University of Massachusetts Amherst public health and policy researcher, reveals that nicotine e-cigarettes are more effective at helping smokers quit than conventional nicotine replacement therapy options. After a review of the relevant smoking cessation studies, the annual analysis concluded nicotine vapes display an association with stronger odds of quitting than patches, gums, lozenges, and or other NRT. In England, quite different from the rest of the world, e-cigarettes have been embraced by public health agencies as a tool to help people reduce the harm of smoking, says Jamie Hartman-Boyce, an assistant professor of health policy and promotion in the School of Public Health and Health Sciences, in a media release. On a global scale, cigarettes remain the leading cause of both preventable disease and death, attributing to over 7 million deaths annually. That's a lot of people. 7 million, Kevin. That's almost as much as never mind. I was going to say something bad about vaccines. I have to wait till later. Anyway, most of the adults in the U.S. Who smoke want to quit, but many find it really difficult to do so, adds Professor Hartman-Boyce, who conducted research at the University of Oxford in England before joining UMass Amherst earlier this year. We need a wide range of evidence-based options for people to use to quit smoking, as some people will try many different ways of quitting before finding one that works for them. Professor Hartman-Boyce, a Cochrane editor, is senior author of the review, which featured 88 studies and over 27,235 participants. Those numbers represent an addition of 10 studies since 2022. Most of the analyzed studies took place in the United States, United Kingdom, or Italy. E-cigarettes do not actually burn tobacco, but rather heat liquids that mix nicotine with various flavors. This allows users to inhale a vapor that contains nicotine instead of inhaling harmful tobacco smoke. Conventional cigarettes, of course, expose users to a complex mix of chemicals known to cause many diseases. We have very clear evidence that, though not risk-free, nicotine e-cigarettes are substantially less harmful than smoking, Professor Hartman-Boyce adds. Some people who haven't had success in the past with other quit aids have found e-cigarettes to help them. I want that. I want that vest. I don't want the green. I don't want the green one though. I do. I like my fleece vests. The analysis also found that for every 100 individuals using nicotine e-cigarettes to quit, 8 to 10 would be expected to actually succeed in quitting. 8 to 10. In comparison to 6 of 100 people using traditional NRT and 4 of 100 trying to stop with no support or behavioral support will actually quit. Researchers explain that those who already abstain from tobacco should try to avoid e-cigarettes due to their potential health effects. But for people who are already smokers, e-cigarettes represent a way to improve their health and reduce their risk by quitting tobacco. Not everything, excuse me. Not everything is either entirely harmful or beneficial. Professor Hartman-Boyce comments, different things can have different impacts on different populations. Evidence shows that nicotine e-cigarettes can help people quit smoking, and that people who don't smoke shouldn't use e-cigarettes.
So, Patrick, perhaps. Oh, look at
There's something on my screen that I got. Here, let me see if I can get rid of that.
So, perhaps, quite possibly, you got 8 to 10 instead of 6. I find that to be a little low, comma. Let me finish my sentence. If it were higher, the only reason I think it is, let me rephrase. the only reason I think it's 8 to 10 based on those 88 studies is because for the past 15 years, nobody has said it's safer. So some guy just randomly at the gas station goes, well, let me try one of them. And then his buddy goes, oh, fuck, you're going to die if you use those. Cigarettes are safer. And then he goes, oh, fuck that. And they're in my opinion, skews the whole fucking thing to me. That the whole fucking thing.
Yes, there's a negative reinforcement, like sort of buzz in the background that's kind of reverberating that does reduce the odds that people would choose to try to vape to quit because they've already been told that it's going to cause brain cancer. It's going to cause,
worms. I was promised worms.
Yeah. She goes on to compare tobacco smoking versus e-cigarettes to treatments for a substance use disorder involving opioids. We're not going to prescribe methadone to people who aren't addicted to opioids, she said, but for people addicted to opioids, we recognize that methadone is a helpful thing. The US FDA. Now, I do want to be so methadone is not only used for this, for opioid use disorder. I do have patients that the doctors put them on methadone for pain, actually, because it does. So, I do know that there's a stigma on methadone. So if somebody says they're taking methadone, don't immediately assume that they're a junkie, Kevin. I'm just saying.
No.
I just, little.
Is it working is what I'd be worried about.
Little food for thought. Yeah. Yes, it does work. The US FDA, which is responsible for the regulation of e-cigarettes, has approved 7 different medications shown to help adults quit smoking. E-cigarettes are not one of them. While certain e-cigarettes may help adult smokers transition completely away from or significantly reduce their use of more harmful combusted cigarettes, the law's public health standard balances that potential with the known and substantial risks that regard to youth uptake, and the use of these highly addictive products, says FDA liar-in-chief Robert Califf on a statement. Yeah.
So
yeah, they
like you've said about
the obligatory lie from Califf.
Yeah, of course, lie. But when you say you shouldn't judge with the methadone, and Michelle said that she had it once and it helped, I had an instance where a family member's significant other said, no, you got it all wrong about kratom. Well, I didn't have anything wrong. I didn't have an opinion. I said, enlighten me. And he explained it the same basic way we've explained vaping products, and that it helped him. I know, I don't care.
I also know people that have been hospitalized while taking that shit too.
Because of kratom? Okay. So I got his perspective, and I went, okay. Gotcha. I didn't know. I didn't know anything about it. So I was in the same position people listen to things about us.
I know.
So
I know 2 people actually that had cardiac issues while taking kratom.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm not for or against it either way. If it's working for you, then do that. Whatever. But I don't know.
Well, that's also like the people that take like herbal supplements that think, oh, well, I lost 100 pounds on these herbal supplements, and I went to the gym 7 days a week, 3 hours a day, and the herbal supplements really helped me lose weight.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
But it's whatever your mind thinks is working, I guess, If it's not really working, I don't know, but or is it making you happy? Yes. There you go. That's what I want.
Yeah. I'm thinking about opening a can of snus, Kevin.
All right.
Warning issued to parents over snus as it becomes more popular than vaping.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't see this one coming. This wasn't on my bingo card.
I'm sure many of us are trying our best at keeping to all the New Year's resolutions we set for ourselves a little over a week ago. From swearing you'll hit the gym more than once every fortnight, or promising to cook more meals at home, to challenge yourself to dry January. What the fuck is dry January? and cutting back on your other vices this month is definitely the time to break old habits and replace them with new ones. However, there are some habits that are clearly harder to kick, hence why a warning has been issued to parents over snus as it becomes more popular than vaping. Why? Oh, why?
Oh, it's easily concealable.
But there's absolutely no harm associated with snus.
Of anything.
None.
No. I can't imagine.
None.
Your little lips might burn for a second. But...
They actually even qualified for, all the special stuff. There's, those damn Swedes, they don't have cancer anymore,
I don't understand.
So the UK, I thought, I didn't think you could even get snus in the UK. But anyway, so now they're so concerned about being cancer free that they're sending out warnings saying, hey, be careful of those snus. They don't cause cancer.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, in case you've got no clue what a snus is, it's basically a tobacco product that looks like a tiny little tea bag. Snus, which originates in Sweden, is a little dry pouch of tobacco that is mine are a little moist, actually. They're not. Placed under a person's lip for about 30 minutes and is often compared to being a single-use tea bag of cigarettes. I don't know who the fuck said that. A single-use tea bag of cigarettes. I'm going to rename the show Tea Bag and see how many people watch it.
Well, that'll bring
replays. I'm going to rename the replays. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to rename the. Recent studies have suggested the use of such pouches among adults has doubled in the last 2 years alone, and it seems it may be the next big thing as of 2026. It has been predicted that the nicotine pouch industry could be worth as much as a staggering $33 billion or 26 billion pounds.
Good.
Swedish snus is banned in the UK, so the nicotine pouches here do not contain any tobacco, but because they still contain nicotine, they're still addictive. So is water, and so is breathing.
Well, I do like breathing.
Yeah. And breathing actually could cause cancer depending on where you live and the environment that you're breathing in. But
so are you to an airport?
Yeah. A truck stop, a train station,
buses,
any type of industrial manufacturing. The air quality is probably not great.
They don't want to talk about
oil
that.
Refinery.
Those people pay big money to keep their mouths shut about it.
Those are breathing in those areas is way more harmful than the snus.
You have never seen white smoke coming out of a factory because they would ever change the composition of the smoke coming out of there, so the people driving by would be going, oh, look, it's white smoke. That's not dangerous. No, that would never happen. Ever. Not here.
James wants a tea bag, Kevin. So if I click on James's comment, though, you should stand up and teabag him right there, Kevin. His name is right in front of your.
He's right there.
It's right there.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, now Michelle wants a teabag too, Kevin. Yeah. All you have to do is stand up, and your crotch should be right at the right level.
You think? Michael's got the teapot. Now think about it for a second, kids. Nicotine's highly addictive. The kids like to hide it, and they're making it so they can conceal it all the time. And I said 7 years ago, 8, I don't know. Why aren't they using patches, gums, lozenges, and tea bags? Because wouldn't that be quicker to hide it? And there's no evidence. And kiss my ass. Tea bags for all.
So it says here, this is asinine right here, Kevin. Libby Clark, a managing consultant of toxicology, told Cosmopolitan Nicotine from oral pouches is absorbed more slowly compared with inhaled products like cigarettes or vapes. Therefore, the addictive potential is thought to be lower. We don't yet have a whole lot of information about how safe or not the pouches are, but pharmacist Ian Budd explained the information we do have does not paint it in an entirely positive light. There is literally 100 years of science behind.
Isn't it like? Isn't their lung cancer rates like 0.5% or some? I don't know what it is, but like
almost
low as
completely gone, Kevin.
It's insanely low. Whatever it is, I don't know if it's 0.5%, but it's low. Last I looked. So
yeah. So we don't have a whole lot of information about how. Yes, we do. We have 100 years of science, dude. They have been researching these products in Sweden for over 100 years, but I'm just going to say 100 years.
If you just don't know, and you say you just don't know, not only are you an idiot,
then you're not even trying. You're not even trying. You didn't even open a Google window.
No, you don't fucking know because you're stupid, incompetent. Stay off the fucking web.
So as snus contains nicotine, it is seen as an addictive substance, as it's the nicotine in tobacco products that causes addiction in the first place. Water is wet.
James.
Some studies have shown that there may be a link to higher rates of pancreatic cancer, heart failure, and diabetes, although research is still ongoing. On nicotine or on...
We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, we've been studying nicotine for several hundred years. People have been smoking.
James is giving me a headline.
Again, not separate from the delivery device.
No.
Clark also highlighted the pretty grim-looking oral lesions that can occur through heavy usage of snus or nicotine pouches, noting this may be mitigated by changing the placement position of pouch. Yes, you always put it in a different spot, Kevin. You don't always put it in the same place.
I'm saying the lesions. Brad Rodew.
While Clark pointed, you have. Brad Rodew. You can say his name over and over again, Kevin. I'm just saying. While Clark pointed to research papers that suggest that using snus and oral pouches has fewer risks than compared to smoking, but emphasized the best thing to do was to refrain from using tobacco and nicotine products altogether. We would never recommend the use of snus or nicotine pouches for those who don't smoke already, he advised. Duh.
Right.
But this I don't know bullshit, that is weak as water, dude. That's like,
it's incompetent.
You're not even trying.
Why are you here? If you're going to say I don't know, then why are you here? We don't know. You and I don't know because we're chuckleheads. Let's just get it out there because we ain't scared. And that's that. Because we don't know.
I'm not afraid to say that I do know. Because I've read a lot of research.
Right. If we do, then yeah, we know. We know better. But we're not going anywhere saying we just don't know. This is bad, but we just don't know why. Because you're stupid.
I don't know.
I'm just James. I'm just seeing teenagers teabagging in the boys' room at school is all I can get out of that.
I would suggest that you don't use the word teenage boys and teabag in the same sentence again, Kevin. I'm starting to worry about you, boy.
Oh.
Here. Let me show this video.
Here.
Vaping stores can pop up. One St. Louis County city is looking to limit.
Somebody's opening vape stores? That's not a good idea. Not right now.
Did she say
unless you're going to sell cigarettes and cigars and,
Florissant leaders are mulling a proposal to limit the amount, essentially capping it at already the 13 that the city has now. John Kippers and Florissant with action tonight from other businesses. John.
Well, as vaping has continued to grow more and more popular, you've seen more vape shops like Smoke Soap.
Okay, so that says mods, e-juice, hookah, and shisha. And then, there's a half a pot leaf over here, and a Delta 8, and a 10.
Well,
so this is not just a vape shop. It's just a shop that just happens to sell vapes along with all this other crap.
And there you go.
So, I had to refill my drink already, Kevin.
No, hydrate. It's hydrate. This portion of the show has been brought to you by hydration.
H2O.
It's good for you.
Actually, I'm drinking tea, so it's not really as good as water for you. It does have the necessary amount of caffeine to keep me alert and oriented.
Smoke safe vape, where I am right now, begin to pop up in the city of Florissant. But here's the thing. There's another vape shop right across the street and 11 more in the city of Florissant. People that run these businesses are telling.
Was that Florissant or fluorescent?
I can't see if it's an I or an A.
It's an I. It's FLORISSANT.
Well, they're from there. I trust
It's getting
them.
harder and harder for them to make money.
There's just too many of them.
Herschel Ivory says he's owned Smoke Safe Vapor off Lindbergh for 8 years.
I used to see a lot more familiar faces.
Now Ivory tells me more new faces are popping up as more vape stores open in Florissant.
Well, he's got backwoods cigars in there, so he's definitely not just a vape shop.
Plus, gas stations sell them too.
There's so many of these things popping up everywhere.
City
You got, so the types of cigars that he's selling have, a certain purpose.
Are they hollow?
They're easy to unwrap and rewrap. Is all I'm saying.
leaders now considering an ordinance that'll cap the number of vapor and tobacco businesses. They'd be limited to one for every 4,000 people in Florissant. That evens out to 13 total. The number operating now.
Gives them a place to go. However, it doesn't inundate the city with it.
Florissant City Council President Joe Egan likes the idea of setting a limit.
And no, I don't think it's a good thing for a city to have every other store be a liquor store or a cigarette store.
What the fuck is wrong with a liquor store, you piece of shit?
If approved, no more additional vape or tobacco stores can open in the city unless one closes, similar to the city's limit on liquor stores.
I don't even live that far away, and I drive past 2 other stores just like mine.
Sean Graydon manages Huff and Smoke across the street from Ivory's store.
All right. Now, I got a problem with a guy that opens a store and he names it Huff and Smoke.
Huff and Smoke.
Because I don't know if you know what the definition of huffing is, but that's not an appropriate professional.
I remember that from my DARE program, Patrick.
Yeah.
You mean you can get high with paint?
Goes
Really?
Ivory.
What?
Saying it's hard to do business with this much competition.
Limiting it is going to.
Now, it does disgust me, Kevin. I'm going to go back just to show this. All right. So all of these shelves back here used to have bottles of e-liquid in them.
Well,
and
sure.
now they're all disposable, illegal e-cigarette products.
Well, yeah.
So, this is why e-liquid manufacturers are going out of business.
Right.
It's because, sure, technically those products are illegal because, again, they're not FDA approved and their PMTAs have probably been, blank check rejected. But, all of this back 6, 8, 10 years ago, these shelves would have been full of bottles of e-liquid from hundreds of independent businesses that are here in the United States instead of literally thousands of Chinese knockoff or Chinese disposable e-cigarettes that are not making any American businesses any money. So I'm on my red, white, and blue, Buy American kick right now. Even though I did just buy these Anakin products that are designed by Americans but manufactured in China.
With this much competition.
Limiting it is going to make it to where everyone can become a successful business.
That's called a race to the bottom, Zippy.
Now, just to give you an idea how rare a law like this would be, I spoke with Erin Johnston, who advocates against the proliferation of these types of stores. She says she's only heard of 2 municipalities in the United States to pass something like this, one in Minnesota and one in Ohio.
Well, there was one in Texas, but we crushed the shit out of that one.
Would you think that a city ordinance would restrict the number of gas stations? Just gas stations. I'm not saying because they sell cigarettes. I'm just saying gas stations. BP, Shell, Amoco, whatever.
No.
Do you think they would limit it to 13 or 12 or 20? Because there's too many. Really? Why not? Well,
and they're bitching about So Kev, they're actually bitching about vape shop being right across the street from each other, is what the guy said at the beginning of the story. I can take you to an intersection just several blocks away from here.
Everybody.
And there is a Valero, which is not the convenience store. Valero provides the gas.
Yeah.
So the gas in the pumps is Valero, but the convenience store could be a 7-Eleven, could be. There is 4. I am not joking. The same intersection, there's a gas station on the corner of each.
Good. Even in Hobunk, Dayton. Even in Hobunk, Dayton, we've got those things. Yeah.
So nobody's bitching about having 4 convenience stores across the street from each other.
No.
Yeah.
Reporting in Florissant, John Kipper, First Alert 4.
New at 10.
Now, the only places that I'm familiar with that limit the types of businesses that are allowed to be in them, a lot of leases in commercial properties will prevent multiple businesses of the same type in the strip mall just because they don't want their renters to compete against each other.
Right. Now, that's understandable, but that's a private entity saying that, not the city.
Right. No.
Period. And Michelle, it does create monopoly. Period.
Well, not a monopoly because there's 13 or 12 or whatever, but I mean, monopoly by definition is one opoly. So that would be a 13-opoly or whatever.
Restricting the ability for a person to do business.
Yeah. So Guam is technically not a part of the United States, but it is a part of the United
territory. Is it a
territory? It is a territory, but they have their own independent government, just like Puerto Rico does. They have had pushes like Puerto Rico has over the years multiple times to become a state. But the requirement is that each of those places, Guam, for example, and Puerto Rico, have to have a vote, an internal vote of the people to say yes or no. So they have both been invited, but the voters, the times that the voters have been given the option, they've selected to not become officially a part of the United States. But we do pay attention to those places because those people that are living there, even though they're not officially part of the United States, they are American citizens. In case you didn't know that, citizens of Guam and citizens of Puerto Rico are American citizens. So, and they do pay taxes, but they also don't have a vote in Congress. They have observers that are selected to come and sit and pay attention, but they're not allowed to vote because they're not American states.
Right.
But apparently, there's a bill in their assembly. We'll call it assembly. I don't know. that would ban flavored vape products. And the hearing is set for February the 2nd. So it says here in this picture, look, they've got Christmas wreaths and a Christmas tree. So this is in the Guam Congress building, and this was on July 4th, waiting for the public hearing on Bill 50-37. A bill that seeks to ban the sale of flavored vapes will have a hearing on February 2nd. This comes after the original public hearing of the original bill never happened on January 4th, after dozens of people waited hours to be heard on the issue. Yeah, if they actually show up, we're not actually going to hear that until later when nobody shows up. This has happened to us before, Kevin. California tried to do it. They had their reading of the bill and blah blah blah, and it was all on the calendar, and a bunch of people showed up, and they're like, "Oh, we're not going to do that today." And then they tried to do it in a secret, separate room.
Just in case.
Luckily, people heard about it and didn't leave. Yeah, they did try to do that.
Oops.
Yeah, so a hearing of Senator Tom Fisher's Bill 50-37, which sought to ban the sale of fruity and pastry-flavored e-liquid or vape juice, was supposed to be heard at 1:30 p.m. last Thursday, but got pushed back to 7 p.m. after the hearing before it went on for 5.5 hours. See, they're even playing basketball. Folks for and against the measure had filled up the lobby of the legislature in the early afternoon, but many left by the time Bill 50 was supposed to start. Just after 7 p.m., Fisher last week said he would withdraw the bill and reintroduce it in the following day in order to make some changes recommended by the American Cancer Society. Many of the people who had come by that time, he said, left by that time. So, yeah, look at that. The American Cancer Society. I don't know what kind of nonprofit that they're supposed to be, but I am pretty sure, Kevin, that if they are a 501c, and I want to say 4, if they're a 501c4, they legally cannot lobby.
Well, in the United States.
That's true.
That's in Guam.
That's true. Fisher,
get over there.
Released from his office, said it wasn't suggested. It wasn't a suggestion from the committee to withdraw the bill, but a directive.
Yeah.
So the bill author was directed by the committee to withdraw the bill.
Nice.
So that the American Cancer Society could make changes to it. That is disturbing and sad in so many different ways, Kevin.
So they can rewrite it the way they want it to read and be implemented.
Well, they got to make sure they approve of the language, Kevin.
That's what happened between tobacco-free kids and the Tobacco Act, pretty much, wasn't it?
One of the things.
And the Master Settlement Agreement. Yeah.
One of the things, Kevin.
So secret that nobody else knew about it. Shh.
Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody, Kevin. Don't tell them.
It's amazing what you learn when you don't know any better.
So, Kev.
What?
Do you know what time it is?
Meow.
Meow. What is that? That's like a really sad cat sound, Kevin.
It's time for the Vape Cats X of the Week.
Now,
meow.
I should correct you because it should be X's of the week for this.
Well, yeah. Now, I mean, technically, it's always been X's of the week. Technically, we should be selecting one of the presented tweets to be the X of the week, but we haven't done that yet. But
all right, and there's like 5 of them that I wanted and I didn't.
Yeah. So this is one that you sent earlier in the week from C Doug.
Oh yeah. Hang on, let me blow it up here.
Yeah.
There.
So it says this court-ordered notice from the U.S. government's racketeering lawsuit is both scientifically accurate and critical to the public understanding. Also important, while nicotine fuels the dependency on lethal cigarettes, it does not cause the illness and death caused by smoking. So if you scroll down, you'll see there's a sign here.
So the idiotic sign.
It says a federal court has ordered R.J. Reynolds Tobacco and Philip Morris USA to state that smoking is highly addictive, and nicotine is the addictive drug in tobacco. So,
don't you let go of that tweet yet?
I'm not.
Go ahead.
It is factually true, but it is also scary,
misleading,
and dissuade people.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. A few years ago, whatever Mr. Douglas said, the tobacco companies agreed to put some warning labels out, and they're supposed to put them on ads, and they were on TV for a year or some other bullshit. Now, look at Sonia, right? See that? So
this is the same argument that I made with 22nd Century.
Right, exactly. So when you go back up after you're done looking at that and you read what he says, read what he states, it's scientifically accurate and critical to public understanding. But wait a minute, it fuels dependency on cigarettes. It doesn't cause illness and death. So what exactly is the danger that they're portraying if it doesn't cause illness and death?
Right. So
with
oxygen,
a cigarette, yes.
Water, those are things that we are addicted to.
Yes.
But cause no harm unless you drowned.
Right.
Or live near a chemical plant.
So this is a manipulative way for them to continue to create the illusion of nicotine itself with no other secrets going on. It's all just nicotine, boys and girls. You can't convince the public unless you keep our narrative exactly as we want it. And the tobacco companies went, yeah, okay, whatever. We don't give a fuck. So I commend Mr. Douglas on the things that he's doing on one hand, and I question him on the other. In this instance, I go, well, I wouldn't have worded it this way. But I see his point, but it's not the whole picture. And that's the problem with the propaganda. For those who don't know better, but nicotine, which I was fully bullshitted about for years. You know.
So since you sent that C Doug, who is now the grand poobah of Smoke Free World.
Hey, maybe he'll come on now.
I saw another tweet from the ex grand poobah of Smoke Free World, Derek Yock.
Oh yeah.
And he says tomorrow is the 60th anniversary of the U.S. Surgeon General report on smoking, cancer of the lung, lip, larynx, chronic lung disease, coronary heart disease. So let's redo that. Tomorrow is the 60th anniversary of the U.S. Surgeon General report on smoking, period. Cancer of the lung, lip and larynx, chronic lung disease, coronary heart disease were causally related to cigarettes. Nicotine did not represent a significant health effect.
Well, isn't that interesting because of the previous tweet?
Yeah. So,
right.
You know,
thank you, James.
I thought they went well together, is what I thought. That's why, but also because Derek is the ex Grand Poobah and
right.
C Doug is the current Grand Poobah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all in the wording, Patrick. It always is.
It's all about the wording. So, and even the vapor here, he points out that the cigar pipe are less dangerous than cigarettes. And there's some other down there on the bottom. I'm not going to do it. But I did, you see, I hearted and I retweeted.
Oh, look at you go. Yeah, there's this, by the way, for those of you who do not know the history, London, I think, was it the Royal College? I don't remember.
Yes, Royal College of Physicians. They highlighted the dangers of cigarettes about a decade before we did.
Oh, I thought it was 3 years.
No, I think it was more. I think it was about.
I don't remember. I thought it was 3. Either way, we were like, dragging ass and going, yeah, fuck, we don't want to talk about that right now.
Oh, no, we're a bunch of cowboys down here. We don't.
Well,
yeah,
this is 58.
Yeah, see,
It's just about time you were born, about your age. Yeah.
Shit, dude, I'm not even.
Hey,
I wasn't even a glimmer. I wasn't even.
I haven't heard this term used a whole lot yet. You're from the 1900s.
I was born in 1972. The best year ever.
The 1900s.
But I was born on a bad day in history, Kevin.
Was you?
Yeah.
What's the date?
April 14. They call April 14 Ruination Day.
Ruination Day.
So Abraham Lincoln was shot in the head on my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
The Titanic struck the iceberg that sunk it on my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
The worst storm of the Dust Bowl era. You'll remember the Dust Bowl era, Kevin. The worst storm ever recorded occurred in the dust storm on my birthday.
A lot of trouble.
And if you check out the list of like world leaders and famous people that were assassinated on that day in history, there's like 100 people that were assassinated over the history of humanity on my birthday. So, but I'm sure if you pick out any day, something bad has happened. But it's just that so much bad stuff happened on that day that they decided to call it Ruination Day.
And then have you? That's well.
And I was, like I said,
So you're like the 5th or 6th thing that happened.
Yeah. My grandpa wanted to call me Damien, but But here, I found an awesome tweet from some woman named Donna.
Tweet of the week.
Some ex-post from Donna.
Mm-hmm.
And Donna says, "What happens when you ban nicotine vapes and smokes? Are taxed at eye-watering levels? Gang warfare."
No.
So it says here, this is from 9 News Melbourne, who we just played video from earlier. A vehicle was driven into a tobacco store in Melbourne's southwest this morning. The shop caught fire for the second time in 24 hours. Investigators are treating both incidents as suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is what happens. Bad things happen when you.
That is what happens.
When you play stupid games.
Because people want to get their shit. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. And this is from Chris Alvino.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "I'm on day 4 of using nicotine patches for long, blurry word there. I can't say that word. Yeah. This part, the best part so far, I haven't woken up with a brain fog at all this week. I wake up feeling pretty normal in the brain for an hour or two. Absolutely amazing. It eventually comes back, but not for an hour or so."
Can you imagine?
And he says, normally when I wake up, my brain is super foggy. It takes me a couple of hours just to get up and get going. Now it takes me an hour to get going, but mostly because I'm just enjoying my time in bed, feeling normal for once, best part of my life. So this poor fella's been suffering from that long C word apparently is having a reduction in his symptoms of the long C word.
Yeah,
because of nicotine patches, which we already if they're the the high dosage ones that they really help.
Well, the rodent has like 85. I don't know for sure, 8,500 or so different. It's unfucking believable. 8,500 or so. He's at over 8,000 different studies about this, Phil.
No.
So don't think there ain't nothing. This guy's he came across my eye too, and this is an unsolicited testimony for the same thing. Crazy.
And then we got Aunt B over here, Kevin.
Aunt B
says, I'm sure I'm not the only ex-smoker who switched to vaping as a harm reduction measure, who tried to stop smoking numerous times by other methods. I had resigned myself to smoking forever till vaping came along. Why must abstinence be the only acceptable option?
Imagine that. Is that the one I sent you?
It could be. I think so. This is one. No, this is one of mine because this one is
okay.
This one is yours. So, yeah. Why must abstinence be the only option? Quit or die, Kevin.
State.
Yeah, it's a
psychotic nanny state.
Yeah.
Start fucking telling people what to do.
Kareem. This is one. I really hate that the cigarette is the prime nicotine delivery method. Nicotine helps me concentrate better than any stimulant meds I've taken before. I just don't want to keep fucking up my lungs.
Huh. So Kareem is making a choice, a conscious, specific choice on his method of delivery.
Yep.
Now, maybe he doesn't know snus or he doesn't know whatever, but I'm assuming he's using the patch, right? I don't know. Or maybe he's a smoker. I guess in context, he's probably, I hate the cigarette as a prime nicotine delivery method, so he's probably smoking. Yeah.
But yeah, Kareem is responding to Local Menace, who was over tweeting Chris, the guy that I just look. See?
Yep.
It's all related, Kevin.
Yep.
And then oh no, that one before was you.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah, because this last one.
Yeah.
This last one is from Peggy, Kevin. So Peggy is retweeting Nick, who has
father.
But Nick has if you don't have to use your cell phone to record video, you can actually steal this video and it would be his.
And I do have to say that Nick is a cuddly old guy. I just love him. He just
I tolerate him. He's horrible. But he's retweeting Governor Ron DeSantis with some cell phone footage. But let's see what DeSantis has to say here. And not only is he governor of Florida, but he is running on the Republican ticket in some states, I think. But here, let's see what you may or may not be able to hear the audio because it's pretty crappy. But here,
banning that. Look, I think that on this vaping stuff, you shouldn't. If you don't do anything, you shouldn't start to vape. It's not good for you. But what I found is people that have used cigarettes and got addicted to that, they're addicted to nicotine. When they go to the vape, that's less harmful for them than doing the normal cigarettes. And so,
and Kevin, we just played video from people with credentials, scientific credentials, that are also saying that vaping is safer than smoking, and vaping is more successful at helping people quit smoking than any big pharma products. And here we have the governor of a state who's running to be president, who is moderately intelligent.
It's a thing sometimes.
I mean, I'm not going to say he's a genius or nothing. You know, he's definitely not Chucklehead level, but you know,
no,
he's at least got this right.
He's addressing it, and that stuns me.
And yeah, he's on a stage somewhere on a campaign talk place, and he took time to spend 45 seconds on vaping.
Somebody can take something and do harm reduction. You know, I don't think that the FDA should ban that. I think people should have the ability, the adults should have the ability to do that. Obviously not kids shouldn't be doing any of this stuff. But when they want to ban menthol cigarettes, all that's going to do is create a black market. You're going to have big time problems. And so, yeah. And also it's just like, okay, Congress could pass a law banning that.
I would like to know what Congress could pass a law about, but I don't want Congress passing any fucking laws. Because we're going to talk about Congress in a minute, Kevin.
Nick and Dolores are the bomb.
Dolores is the bomb.
So's Peggy.
Nick is just a meat sack. I'm just, you know. But Dolores definitely. Dolores definitely. She's.
Does that conclude our tweets of the week?
That is all of the tweets of the week, Kevin. Or the X posts of the week, because I did put in the show notes. It says here, X post of the week, period. Kevin is wrong.
What?
It's not Twitter anymore.
Yeah, fuck that. Who cares?
I did put that right in the show notes.
I don't read your show notes.
I know. We all know, Kevin. You do come unprepared.
You're lucky I get here at all.
That is true. You did show up 2 minutes early today. I was surprised.
Yeah, sometimes.
Not
Consistent. I'm old and cantankerous, so calm down.
Definitely old.
Cantankerous. And there is some sniffing of air.
But DeSantis is not the hair sniffer.
No, I've touched Fig's hair, but I've never sniffed it.
I have actually been in the room with Fig, and I've never once considered touching any man's hair.
Oh, he knew I was coming, and he couldn't run.
Or smelling any man's hair.
Just Fig.
You're just a weirdo, Kevin. But here we got video from Forbes. This is video from Forbes of Senator Dick Durbin, Kevin.
Oh, big dick.
I don't know. I think he's little dick. So, you know.
Flaccid.
Well, at his age, it's like shooting pool with a piece of rope. For sure. But he's about your age, so it's about right.
Having experienced legislative efforts in both the House of Representatives and the Senate, would be a surprise to many people to learn that many members come to the floor to address issues of personal importance to them, something that happened in their lives that motivates them to take up an issue, introduce a bill, try to create a new law. That happened to me in the House of Representatives many, many years ago when I first confronted the tobacco issue. I lost my father to lung cancer when I was 14 years old. And it was a profound experience, as you might guess, in my life. And I remembered what he went through in the last 100 days of his life, fighting lung cancer and eventually succumbing to it.
So he's telling a story about his daddy dying of lung cancer from smoking. But here we are. This is the same guy who signs every anti-vaping bill that comes across his desk so that he can be a co-sponsor.
Hey, Patrick.
For the thing that would have saved his daddy from getting cancer.
Show some respect for Dick. He's got feelings. We don't have feelings. Just his feelings are important.
But he did say something here that kind of pisses me off. He did kind of piss me off here. So he has been elected to represent the people of his district.
Mm-hmm.
But he just said, well, there's a lot of times that we as representatives that we interject our personal feelings into the things that we vote on.
Imagine that.
So instead of asking his people what he wants, he just decides to, have
Go
pet
with his
projects that are his issues. I just thought that was interesting.
Dick.
And so I took on the tobacco issue in the House of Representatives on a personal basis as well as a public basis, trying to reduce the power which the big tobacco lobby had in the House of Representatives. And when I arrived there in 1982, they were the most powerful lobby in Washington.
So he took office in 1982, Kevin.
Yeah. And now they're more powerful.
So he has literally been in Congress for what? 1982. That's 2002 would be 20.
40.
42 years.
Mm-hmm.
42 years.
The tobacco is still there.
There are actually people that are serving in Congress now that were born after this guy took office.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. Show Dick some respect. I love that line. And
warned as new members of Congress on both sides, Democrat and Republican, don't touch the tobacco issue. It is an issue that is very important for us to maintain our majority, and you shouldn't bring it up.
So he says that he was warned beforehand by somebody.
What? So what are you saying there, Dick? Some things are not to be touched? What? They have special powers? What?
I'm concerned.
What?
I ignored that advice and introduced several ideas on reducing the power of the tobacco.
Okay. When was the Tobacco Control Act?
88. 98.
No. 98.
Oh, 2009. Oh, 98.
2009. The Family Smoking Prevention Act was in 2009. So he was, what did we say? 1982.
82.
20 years. 27 years.
Well, they gave them more power in 98. And then in 2009.
Yes.
They gave them all the power in 98. Oh, my God.
Man.
Lobby on Capitol Hill. The one issue that I pursued with success had a profound impact on this country, much more than I ever imagined. I introduced the first bill, successful bill in the House of Representatives to ban smoking on airplanes.
Yeah,
it
good
seems
job.
so obvious today that it would be a fiction.
So that was a profound.
You're the guy that pissed my father off. Okay.
Well, with the amazing bipartisan majority, we passed my bill to ban smoking on airplanes. It was taken up by Senator Frank Lautenberg here in the United States Senate successfully.
I'm skipping it.
Thought and said, wait a minute, if secondhand smoke is dangerous in an airplane,
we'll just
ashtray to put on the coffee table in their office for those visitors who wanted to
ashtrays. Let's keep going.
Of tobacco on children. We knew that tobacco with its chemical nicotine was addictive, and we knew that kids, naturally being told not to touch a tobacco product, started using them as soon as they could. And many of them developed an addiction even before they graduated from high school. So we started requiring warning labels, restricting retail sales.
Those warning labels really didn't stop me from getting cigarettes, Kevin, when I was a kid.
No. I was getting them for my dad.
And they didn't stop me.
Knew that they were in trouble. that was their source of addicted people who, when they became adults, bought
Oh,
their
yeah,
products
they-
for the rest
they
of their lives until they
were
died.
scared,
from
Dick.
the-
Yeah, those huge multi-billion-dollar companies are afraid of you, Dick.
addiction. And so the tobacco companies started a new campaign. It wasn't based on tobacco, but on the chemical nicotine and the addictive nature of it. And they created something called vaping and e-cigarettes.
Who?
Yeah.
The tobacco companies invented vaping?
Dick is a greased patsy. He's the bad guy. And fuck you, Dick.
I did not realize that
They
Most Angry
didn't.
Pirate and all the guys back in the old days that were modding egos or modding flashlight that they were employed by Big Tobacco. Wow. Troop, where's Troop? Troop's been here as long as I have. Yeah. Those are Big Tobacco guys that invented vaping.
Off to
Right.
grade school and high school, and these kids started buying them and using them. And so I switched my campaign not exclusively from tobacco, but to vaping as their latest big tobacco product that was addicting children.
Hey, Patrick. I have a question.
He just keeps saying Big Tobacco, Big Tobacco, Big Tobacco, because Big Tobacco is evil. But he's giving them a lot of credit for shit they didn't do.
What? How many of those products that have been approved by the FDA are made by or owned by let's say owned by the tobacco companies?
All 100% of them, Kevin.
I called me stupid because never mind. Oh, hey, has Dick mentioned the Sinar Amendment yet? I don't think he has. Because children,
only a retarded child would continue to bring up the Sinar Amendment.
Children, we care about them. Children. They're going to get addicted before they get out of high school. Well, if you had fucking laws.
We're not even getting paid, and we're getting called Big Tobacco, Kevin.
I've got my shield card.
I want the black Visa card. That's what I want. If I'm going to be called Big Tobacco, I want that black Visa card that I never have to pay for. If they want to buy me off, just send me the black Visa card and pay the bill, and I will keep doing what I do every day.
My thought is this:
night.
Whatever. Probably Nancy Pelosi said, "Hey, Dick, here's an idea. You be the bad guy, and you hate tobacco, and maybe we can do something to help them." And then he said, "Oh, okay, I can do that," and that's what happened. Because he's I'll use the word P word as patsy rather than something else.
What are you gonna say, pussy?
Let's move on.
You can't say that until we go to the Rumbles, Kevin.
That's because there's ladies in the room. I didn't want to offend anybody.
But anyway, Kev, guess what?
What?
We have reached the end of the YouTube portion of tonight's show.
God, what are you? Are you all right? It's
2 hours. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 things to talk about over in the Rumbles.
It ain't going to be no 2 o'clock.
No, we might get done. What time is it now?
11:55.
It's 11 my time, so we might get done by 1 a.m.
Well, damn, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't, Michelle, because he doesn't GAF about you.
Nope. Even if you're from his district, he doesn't.
Nobody. None of these people care.
GAF about you.
Well, George Carlin said they don't give a fuck about you.
Nope, they don't.
They don't.
Not even a little bit. But anyway,
or
Kev,
your children.
I don't know who of these wonderful, lovely people will be following us over to the Rumbles.
Yeah.
So, how would you like to say goodnight to our friends on the YouTubes?
I want them to come over to the Rumbles. I want to say
that are not following us over there.
Well, then those I love them.
There are some people,
except Fig if he's listening.
Some people don't like the rumbles or don't want to download another app or sign on to another.
I don't. I'm not on Rumble. I have no idea what it looks up to. I have no idea. I don't know.
I mean, I just want to say. I'm going to put this over your head for a minute.
I don't mind you showing everybody that you suck up to Charlie. I don't care. Keep doing
it. Here, Castello wants the link for the for the Rumble.
He probably texts like I do with one finger. That's because that's what I do.
I will slap the Rumble link into the YouTube chat over here. Blam. So, Michelle says that she would, if it would work for. I don't know. This is the same thing that that Kevin's friend Skip said that she couldn't get it to work. Couldn't get it to work, and then last week, bam, it worked. She came in. She's like, it's working now. I don't know why it didn't work before.
I don't like Durbin either, Mal.
If you constantly do a Google for Son of Liberty Radio, you got to throw the word radio at the end of it because you could go down a different rabbit hole if you just type in Son of Liberty.
Yep, you do. You will, because I did. I said, who are these chuckleheads?
You got to remember, it's never been Son of Liberty. It's always been Son of Liberty Radio. I don't know why. I think the dementia has just dropped the word radio off for Ed for some reason. I don't know. It's always been Son of Liberty Radio. Always.
Here, kitty.
Because we originally were only on radio.
That's right.
Audio only. But then
and Son of Liberty Radio. Imagine.
We grew from Son of Liberty Radio to Son of Liberty audio video, but we, anyhow. Yeah. So give us like 2 minutes. Kevin's probably got to go refresh his coffee and drop a deuce or take a leak or whatever. I will entertain you with some video clips while
drip,
he is
drip,
doing
drip.
We're gonna do the drip too because I hate that helps the older folks that have trouble initiating urination.
I think you should have cat fights. Just
well, I could make a new one, but anyway, we'll see you in about 2 minutes.
And I'll say that for any smoker in my life, I tell them, quit smoking traditional cigarettes now and switch to vaping if it helps you quit. That is my position on this. The fact that we haven't had clear messaging in this country, I think actually literally kills people.
The question, how does one man assert power over another? Obedience is not enough. Power is inflicting pain and humiliation, otherwise you cannot be sure. Power is tearing human minds apart and putting them together again in new shapes of your own choosing. Power is not a means, it is an end. All competing pleasures we will destroy.